This is a video response to the question about point buy versus rolled stats. Do they produce characters that are interesting and balanced compared to each other? That sort of thing. Well, my reaction to most of the responses that I've seen has been one of that there's a comparison between apples and oranges going on here. The point buy system was intended to allow each player at the table to build from the same base. Player skill notwithstanding, they should have equal and balanced characters at the start of play. This is either valuable or not valuable to your group. Right? Either you want to play a group of characters that are built from the same number of points, the same sort of value, or you don't. That's what that's for. Rolled stats are more along the lines of simulation, because in the real world, not everybody's equal. And you can meet somebody who just seems to be able to do everything well, standing right next to someone who can't seem to do anything well. And of course, the average person is not reflected that way. So, using rolled stats, you're trying to reflect the wide variety of people that you might encounter in a real-world setting. So, if you have players that can't handle the idea that the person sitting next to them is built on more points, then this will not work very well for you, and people will find or exaggerate ways to be annoyed about that. But what's really going on? When you sit down and use point buy, you start with a character concept, you assign the points to meet that character concept, and then you start to play that concept with a certain degree of confidence that the character will perform as you expect and not annoy the rest of the players with the way that they have been statted up to carry out their tasks. With rolling stats, if you're starting with a concept, you're going about it ass backwards. You roll the stats and determine what you're going to play after that. Anything else is a variation. So if the system that you're in is a 3d6 kind of system, you roll 3d6, the requisite number of times for each stat, and you either move them around, which by itself is a kind of variation, or you just, play them as they lay. So the first thing that you roll is the first attribute on your list. You look at the list of attributes that you generate, and you build a character from that. The simulation of the character, the design of the character, begins from those stats. If you aren't going to approach rolled stats that way, then you might as well be using point buy, because what you're doing is manipulating those numbers. So you might as well manipulate them in the most efficient way possible to prevent unnecessary amounts of frustration. So you might try a system like roll 4d6, drop the lowest, roll 4d6, drop, ones and twos, or whatever means you like to manipulate those rolls into stats which can fit your character concept. But why, when you can just assign points? So, from where I sit, if you are going to start with a character concept, you have to design a specific role, like you need to make the magic user for the group, or you need to make the espionage agent for the group, then use point buy, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to design a character. So pick your points, assign them, and be done. If you're generating a character to play in a game, and the system allows for rolling stats, roll the stats, take what you get, be happy, enjoy the challenge. It's not really a question of which one is more legitimate. It's using the right tool for the right job. Thanks for the question.